some might argue that you're listing at a time where the markets are volatile and you might probably not get the best value. But can you just give us a sense of why you're listing, why now?
Well, for us, it's all about our strategy on cement, both in Nigeria and probably Africa. We intend to put all our cement assets in one entity, and that's what we've done with Dangote Cement PLC. So it's not about actually raising funds at this point in time. It's basically to put everything together. And given the fact that the BCC, which was a merged company with DCP, had minority interest, and they were enjoying some listing advantages, we felt there was no point in delaying that. Once you've delisted BCC, you might as well list DCP to allow them to come to enjoy the privilege of being a shareholder of a company that is listed on the stock exchange.
Right, but obviously you have interest in so many African countries. You are in South Africa, Ghana, Zambia, Tanzania, etc. Would we have an international listing, maybe another listing in London or Joburg following this by any chance?
There are discussions around that to be able to go outside Nigeria and get other investors to participate. And discussions are in advanced stages, and we hope to actualize that in the next 24 months.
Let's talk a bit about the listing. Now, you're listing at 135 naira per share. That values the company as well over 2 trillion, $13 billion. I have also read that there will be a dividend paid to investors, about 75% of earnings going forward. Can you just shed some light on that?
Well, that's the plan for the company to at least do a payout of about 75%. But given discussions that are going on right now about adding other assets other than Nigerian assets, of course the company will need some capital to execute those projects. And we might come back a little bit later to say maybe we'll have a lower payout rate to allow for some cash to be used.
Indeed, you are acquiring so much. And let's talk about the growth rate in Nigeria. Over the last 3 or 4 years, it has been about, it depends on who you ask, really, sometimes between 10 or 15%. But obviously, it seems like this is a huge growth potential, a huge potential market for growth.
For us, we believe the market can do 25%, 30%. It really requires the government to actually do a lot of spending on infrastructure. The rates that you've been hearing, 10%, 50%, are basically on private individuals, regular, normal growth. But if you add the government part of it, we should be looking at 20, 25% at some point in time. About 2 years ago, we actually did 20%, about 23% growth.
Indeed, and of course yourself and several other companies are adding capacity. But there is a sense that come 2013, local capacity might actually outstrip local demand. And then of course you now begin to look at exporting to perhaps West Africa. Can you give us a sense of your plans for that, looking ahead into 2013?
For us, we've assumed rightly that the growth rate is about 10% year in, year out. And by 2013, there will be some surplus cement in the market. But at the same time, we also have need for cement in our other outstations like Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia. These are countries where we're going to put some terminals in them. We will move our cement from Nigeria to those locations. But I'm also pointing out that the facility to do export is being put together by us in Apapa. We have a concession there where we're building export terminal to allow us to export to these countries we're talking about.
Well, it would be good to see another company exporting from Nigeria, something that is not oil, for a change. But let's look at those countries that you're looking at, because one can argue that some of those countries obviously have their own local players, and you coming in to dominate those markets, there might be a risk there. Give us a sense of what those markets look like right now, or is this more a question of the fact that those markets just need the supply?
The markets need the supply, local production, because what you see in most countries are imported cement. That's one. Two is the pricing. The price of cement in most of these countries are way, way, way above what you can imagine people should be paying for. In some countries you have $400, some may have $250, some may have $300. They're too high for any meaningful development in those countries. So as an African and an African company, so to speak, our interest is beyond just we want to make money or we're doing this for the profit we're going to get out of this. But I think we need to give a sense of belonging. We as Africans, we believe that we need to go out. We're starting with our own base, and we're very successful with that. And we want to go to those other countries. They are actually waiting for us. I mean, we get knocks every day. When are you guys going to move? When are you starting? They're waiting because they know that at the end of the day, it will help their country.